Bonjour, peeps. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page, where I do a daily live stream based on the divination card draw for the day. And today is Tuesday, Terrific Tuesday. That's what I call it here at Star Nations, and it's December 4th. Yeah, it is kind of a cloudy, dark day here. We weren't supposed to get any snow today. We had like 10% chance. We have snow, which only goes to show you that meteorologists can be 50% correct, right? So anyway, it's all good. I spent the morning. Hey, Rochelle's in the house. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yeah. Hey, Rochelle. Glad you could join us. I hope you're feeling a little bit better now that you have your pain pills. Rochelle is just coming back from surgery. She had surgery last week, and so she's home. It's her first day home. So glad you could join us, Rochelle. That we can be together while you're convalescing. Have a good conversation, right? So anyway, my morning was very interesting. It's all about George, of course. We had to find a puppy daycare that is close enough to home that also has boarding, right? And we've never boarded any of our dogs before. George will be the first one. And so we found a place over on Alaska, which is relatively close to where I get my hair done over there. It's about a 45-minute drive. And he had his first half day there today, so he could get used to the place and get introduced to the staff and that sort of thing. And so he is one tired pup. I guess he had a real good time. He had lots of other four-legged pups to play with, and so he came home and he's already asleep. He was actually snoring on the way home. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I had to go run and get him, and so and be back in time to do the live stream. And so it's been kind of a busy morning. Before we get rolling with the cards, I thought maybe what we should do is like and share the broadcast, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm using my phone. And thank you, Rochelle, for sharing. I appreciate it. And the reason why we even ask you guys to do this is because it helps us be in the news feed more often. We do know that Facebook enjoys it when we like and share any post or any video. And so it's just helpful. It's helpful when other people are looking for us and to be able to find us. And so I'm sharing it to my news feed, and to let them know that I'm live streaming. There we go. And to please join us. There we go. We get that posted. And then, whoops. As I was trying to share, something popped in and I accidentally clicked it. All right, there's one. And the other one is to the closed groups. And we'll let them know that I'm live streaming. And to please join. Yep, there we go. There. And we'll do the radio network since I didn't catch them this morning, and the academy. There. That's good. It's done. Done and done, as they say. Yeah. You know, I was, as I was going to pick up George, the closer I got to La Crosse on Alaska area, which I took the interstate. It's a lot faster, right? As I was going, I saw an eagle, a bald eagle. And as my mother would be asking me, what were you thinking about when you saw it? And what I was thinking about was about Star Nations and about our community and how we can best support you guys, and hoping that we're doing a good job in that, right? I know that we can't be 100% perfect, but we can at least, strive for the best possible. And that's when I saw the eagle. And then on the way home, right around just south of not south, it'd be east of Onalaska, I saw another, what I thought was a bald eagle, and I'm watching it, and it looked a lot bigger. I was like, bald eagles are big, but this was even bigger, and it was flying differently than a bald eagle flies. And I'm watching it, and as I got closer to it, I realized it was a golden eagle, a golden eagle. Now, I've only seen a couple in my life, and they are huge, huge eagles. Um, and sometimes we get them confused with um, the immature bald eagles, because they're kind of mottled. They're not. They don't have the distinctive white head and white tail, right? They're kind of brownish gold. And so anyway, I had to think. I was thinking, oh, what was I thinking about when I saw when I saw the golden eagle? And what I was thinking about that was actually what I was thinking about is how about pulling together the executive team for Star Nations. That yay, that Stephanie is on board, yay, and that we've got our main copy editor is Sharon Rosenblum, and she does a lot of editing for me for lots of things, right? Not just my articles. And we also have the Elm Publishing for the layout of the magazine. And we also have the bookkeeper that you guys don't know yet. It's a good friend of mine. We've been friends since the third grade, and Marley. And so, we're starting to really get this cohesive team pulled together. And so what I was thinking about was once Stephanie has kind of gotten into the groove, right? And she's got her really singing along with what she's doing for us with the social media, is that I'm going to be looking for somebody to help me with the academy piece, to help structure that better, to help take registration and to promote and that sort of thing, right? So that's the next step. That's when I saw the golden eagle. So I know I'm on the right track. And so it's just a matter of time, not pushing it, not forcing it, but the getting the asking for help. That's the hard part, right? Asking for help, and that sort of thing. So yay, Stephanie's going happy dance. I know. Actually, it took me a while to kind of hone in on what it was that I was thinking about, because I was so taken with the golden eagle. It's like, wow, a golden eagle. I know, 2 eagles in the same day. I know. And we do have quite a few eagles in this area. And so when you're from this area, it's not, we kind of take it for granted sometimes, I think, because it's not something extraordinary, because we have so many in the area. Yeah. But when I see them, I say, yay. Hey, Julie Shumway Hill's with us too. Thank you for being here, Julie. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, Sarah says creative waiting. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's about, for me, it's about pulling together what is my intention. I want to be clear with it, right? And so I start with the feeling and the idea, which happened earlier. I want to say it was Sunday or Monday. And so, yeah, I don't rush it. Yeah. Hey, good morning to you too, Jazz. I'm glad you're here. You're new here. Good. Well, I'm so glad you could join us. We're going to get ready to talk about the the card draw that was done for today. And I'm going to show the deck that we're using for those that are just joining us. Just making sure that the chat is working. All right, so here is the deck that we're currently using. We're using, it is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck by Kyle Gray, and the artwork is by Lily Moses. We've been using this deck since the end of September, and I like it. I really do. We have the, it's brand new. It was just published in 2018 and released in September. And so it's brand new. I didn't realize how new it was until I was out on Amazon.com and I was searching for divination cards. I really felt the calling, the push, the nudge from my spiritual team to buy a new deck, right? And I wanted the new deck to have more of a Native American slant or feel to it. And there's some out there, and I do have a few. But I was looking for a new deck, and I have to tell you, there's not that many really good Native American decks of cards out there for divination. But this particular one, Kyle Gray lives in the UK. He's actually out of Glasgow, Scotland, and Lily Moses, the artist, is in New Zealand. And but Kyle brings together many different belief systems, and Native American happens to be one of them. And so, yeah, I like it. I hope you guys like them too, because we get to talk about them, right? Yeah. All right. Here we go. This is the first card. This is Heart Guardian. Heart Guardian. Yeah. It's a beautiful picture, isn't it? It says, love and let yourself be loved. To love and let yourself be loved. Yeah. And I remember the first time we had this card. I think it was Stephanie that said, is that the Sacred Heart? And I said, yes, it is. You know, and what I like about this is that even above her, the artwork above her is really kind of cool too, isn't it? And she's got that inner glow. And I just realized she has a ring on her middle finger of her, it would be her right hand, with a red stone in it. So a lot of red. Yeah. Even her hair is red. You know, and you know, the color red, I suppose, you know, has always been a long time, has been a symbol for love, right? Yeah, especially around Valentine's Day. We get that a lot. And let's see, Stephanie is saying something here. She says, where is the signature blue in the card? Mostly see red. I agree. I'm looking for it. I don't see it, other than on the back side. The back side of the card. Yeah, I don't see that signature blue. Usually the artist has something with that color blue, and I don't see any. Mm-hmm. That must mean something, huh? It's all about that, the energy, because red is a very active color from a feng shui perspective, right? It's a very active color. It's a very, actually, it's a masculine energy color, red is, because how active it is. And when you have a lot of red, then you're actually more into aggressiveness, right? Rather than being assertive and active, it goes into aggression. And so it's kind of funny how with that much red, and with it being a female, is that we're balancing out the male and masculine, or the masculine and feminine, divine feminine energies here too. Love and let yourself be loved. That just a few words and so full and packed with energy, isn't it? the I think that generally speaking, it's so much easier to extend love to someone. Hey, Anne's here too. Hello, Anne. Welcome to the afternoon live stream. Yeah. Rochelle says it's there. I didn't see it. Where did you see the signature blue other than on the back side of the card? I didn't see it. Yeah, and we showed that one already. Oh, yeah. Yep. And Julie says, love the rose and the cape. Drew this card in my Sunday draw card. You did? Yeah, I noticed that too. On her right shoulder. You think it's her cape or part of her hood, but it's a red rose. Red rose. And, okay, so, red and then the red rose, it's those symbols of love, right? But the rose is also a symbol of the goddess. It's a symbol of Mother Mary. And so, yeah, it's, the color red. When I was doing feng shui, when I had clients and was teaching certification courses for feng shui, we would talk about the color red. That it's just a little red in a room really makes it vibrant. When you have a lot of red, it overwhelms the senses. I had this. Okay, I was helping this realtor, and they were trying to sell houses that it was really hard to sell. They've been listed for a really long time, and so I was going in and I was doing the feng shui and space clearing for those homes. And there was this one house. Oh my gosh, the people really loved red. In their living room, it had red carpet, red kind of crushed velvet drapes. It had red pillows on a kind of a reddish brown kind of couch, and that was a lot of red. And the thing is that when you're trying to sell the house, they didn't want to spend a whole lot of money in trying to get things to look right and balanced. So I had them take down the drapes and put something up that was more of a neutral color. Yeah, we worked with kind of not a white, but it was kind of an off-white, kind of like a beigey white, to kind of tone things down. It was, it really woke you up when you were in that room. That's for sure. All right, so Rochelle is saying on the feathers, on the back, underside of the feathers. Yeah, it might be the colors that you're seeing on your computer, because the actual card, there is no blue on the feathers. But, the color that comes off from your screen, sometimes the colors look a bit different. Yeah. Okay, so here is what Kyle, the author, says about this card, the Heart Guardian. If I can get to it. Here it is. Love and let yourself be loved. Welcome with open arms opportunities to give and receive love. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Sometimes in the receiving of love is where we have some issues. And generally speaking, that in the balance of giving and receiving, we're much more, especially women, we're much more comfortable and maybe even expecting to be in the giving mode. Okay, to receive tends to be a little bit more of a challenge, and then you add add what you're receiving to it, which is love, that's a whole nother ball of wax too. Is because sometimes in order for us to give love, um, it sure is nice when it's unconditional. It doesn't happen very often, right? There's always something attached to it. And I think that's kind of a two-legged, a human thing, um, is to expect something in return for it. Um, so unconditional love might be a little bit difficult, but we certainly can extend love, right? Um, yeah, in fact, I was just this morning, this is what I do almost every morning when I do the card draw, is I call my spiritual team in and I sit with them, just even if it's just for a minute, just feeling their presence. And I usually, not every morning, but usually I'm telling them, thank you so much for being with me and for assisting me and helping me. I appreciate your help, right? I appreciate it. And I always have this sense of this love, and I tell them that I love them, and I can feel it in return, right? Because a lot of our spiritual team has been with us for a long time. Our guardian angel is on our spiritual team, and that guardian angel has been with us through all of our lifetimes, not just this one, but all of them. And so that guardian angel knows us the best because they've seen every reiteration of our soul, and so it's for me, it's really easy to be able to extend that love to them. I think what's harder to extend love to is people or something that you don't either trust or, I was going to say, a long, long time ago in a land far, far away in my youth. I remember telling my nieces, that I would always love them. I might not always like what they do, but I would always love them. And that still holds true today. I'll always love them, but I might not always like their behavior or what they do. But I'll always love them. So sometimes I think love is, love is a very interesting emotion. Because it's easy to love on one hand and difficult to love on the other, right? But there's those conditions, I think. Yeah. It's like, it's like when you know that someone has hurt a child, it's kind of hard to extend love to that person. Or when they've hurt, an animal or something like that. Yeah, it's hard to extend that kind of love to them. And yet, on the other hand, it is easy to extend love to other people in your life, right? Do you guys find that to be true? Yeah, most times we don't slow down enough to even kind of consider this piece. Is who you love and why, or who you don't love and why. Yeah. And I was also thinking about that, the giving and receiving, the receiving end of that is when we have difficulty receiving love. Many times that has to do with how we feel about ourselves, our self-worth. Yeah. And I think most of us at one time or another have experienced that. And especially during those times when we're going through the dark night of the soul, and you've got somebody close to you, whether it's a spouse or maybe a family member, or sister or brother, or maybe your best friend, right? And they say, well, but I love you. And it's like, yeah, I know, you don't really accept it fully because you're not in a place to be able to do that, right? And thank goodness or thank goddess, right, that they continue to tell you that time after time after time. Because eventually you pull out of the dark night of the soul, and you kind of stand in the light finally, and you look around to see who's there with you. And there's those people in your life that are consistent, that have been with you through all that, and they truly do love you, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Connie is saying, for me, unconditional love is easy. I can love and not expect to receive it back because I have learned from my creator that I am. See, that's why I love listening to your shows and stuff, Connie, because I know that you've been through a lot in your personal life, right? And you can still, and you've come to the place where you can love unconditionally. And let me tell you, she's telling the truth because you can see it in her eyes when she tells you that. You can see it in her eyes. And Anne is saying, once I lose trust, it's hard to love. Yes, I agree. I agree. It doesn't mean that there'll never be love again. It's just rebuilding that trust takes some time. Takes some time. And what about this, Anne? What about if you can think of an example of that for yourself? What was on your side of whatever happened, right? Because that's where my mind goes. It's like, okay, what was my part in it? And what am I supposed to learn from this, right? I think that it's easier to rebuild the trust or to actually consider maybe extending love again after we've learned our life lesson, after we've gone through it and we're on the other side of it, right? That's a possibility for me anyway. Joy, card, please. Oh, you want to see which one it is? Sure. This is the first card, Joy, that new Joy that we drew. It's called Heart Guardian. Love and let yourself be loved. Yeah. So it's all about giving love and receiving love. Kyle goes on to say that the heart guardian is an angelic energy that can help you call for protection and guidance with all issues surrounding the heart. This is essentially the angel who helps you with all relationships, whether they be with yourself, family, or even a romantic connection. She can enable you to move beyond any limiting fears about trust, discern whom to trust, and understand how you can move forward in a balanced relationship with that person. In this card, she is adorned with a sacred heart and draped in a red cloak to show her capacity to let love lead the way. It's funny. We're talking about trust, right? Yeah. Yeah. See, and I'm an optimist. I've been called Pollyanna I don't know how many times. And I do. I tend to see the positive side of things. And if it's sometimes you really have to look hard. But I always hold out that, miracles happen every day. They do. Sometimes we miss them because we're not aware of them. We don't turn our attention in that direction, but they're there every day. And so when trust has been lost, it might take me a little while to be able to sense or see where the positive is in that, what my life lesson was about that. What did I learn? What kind of wisdom did I gain from that? And and in my experience anyway, once I'm on the other side of it, the chance of regaining that trust or reestablishing trust is a possibility. It depends on what the other person is up to too, because we can only take care of our own side of the street, right? Um, yeah. I mean, there's apologies and then there's heartfelt apologies, right? There's apologies that are just words. Um, and many times when it's like that, it's usually more of an excuse than an actual apology. But then there's those apologies that do come from the heart, and you can sense that. You can sense that that there's not an excuse. Sometimes people call it an explanation, but there's no excuse. They accept the responsibility of their actions, of their words, and they heartfelt apologize. To me, that is a base to regain and rebuild trust. You have to actually get to the point of being able to talk, though, to have communication. That could take a while. Kyle goes on to say, you are lovable, and loving. The energy of love is surrounding your whole world at this time. I'm going to say that again because it feels good. The energy of love is surrounding your whole world at this time. Angels are swirling around you, encouraging you to open your heart and reveal the blessings that you have to offer. Okay, so that one sentence, there's a lot there too, isn't there? Because if we believe that our soul is in our heart, right? Because we talk about the balance, allowing your soul to lead, that you have that balance between your heart, your soul, and your mental thought, your mind, which is your ego, and there's a balance between the two. And allowing your soul to lead, allowing the emotion to be balanced with the mental thoughts, and allowing your soul to lead. And if you believe that every experience that your soul has gained through all of the lifetimes, that your personal Akashic record actually resides in your spiritual heart. Maybe that's where we get that from, huh, Connie? About the unconditional love. Yeah. Yeah, I am wondering about that. All right, so Kyle goes on to say that they want you to know that you're a highly loving being who deserves to give and receive love. If you're finding it challenging to feel love at this time, it's important for you to give yourself credit where it's due. You are also encouraged to welcome support from others. Learn to receive. Don't try to do everything on your own. That's me. I am trying. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to delete that one. Okay, delete that thought, what I just said. Yeah, I am asking for help. I am receiving love. I'm not trying. I am receiving love. That's a much better way to say it, and it's much more positive. Yeah. All right. So he goes on to say is that if you're working on a relationship or in a new relationship, this card can usher in energies that allow you to forge a powerful connection with your partner. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. All right. So, New Joy, what you saying here, New Joy? She says every day, Ruth Keys, Neshi does this live, up close and personal. She's from another. Well, thank you, New Joy. I appreciate that. It's just, it's my interpretation, my spiritual team's interpretation of the card draw, because every morning, and I've been doing this for years, is doing a card draw just to see what the energy is most important to know about for that day. And so that's the intention. Every morning, I'm asking my team to come in, my full team, and I'm asking them to show me what is the most important energy for us to know about today for our highest good and the highest good of all, and that we can share with others, right? And so that is the intention for the card draw. Yeah. So we get to kind of weave it together, right? The message. The card is a starting place for it, I think. But it really is in the weaving together of the discussion that happens in the chat, what my team is nudging me to say, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And saying you're doing much better at receiving. Yes, I am. I am. I learned a valuable life lesson from 2017 and part of 2016. It was a really, really tough road. Got through it though, right? With a lot of good, loving friends and my husband. And one of the things that I learned from all of that is that you have to reach out and ask for help, because people can't read your mind. And or if they offer and you say, "Oh no, I'm fine. I'm good. I got it." You don't got it. When those people that are close to you, I have my sisters who all they had to do was look at me and say, "What's wrong?" And so I learned, and I'm thankful for that gift. I'm grateful for that gift. Has it been easy to say I need help? No, because I've spent a lifetime building up to be self-reliant, right? So to me, this is what I learned, is that there's a balance between that. When you're out of balance is when you think you can do everything and have to do everything, which is wrong. That's a fallacy. But there's a balance in that. You can still be self-reliant and be strong that way, but you can also be aware of when your talents aren't helpful in a certain situations, and that there's others who have those gifts and talents that you can call on, right? Yeah. It's all about giving and receiving. Yeah. All right. Here's Roberta. Bobby is saying, "Hello, optimist friend." That's me. "I agree in the miracles, and I will always believe in a good heart. It was a long lesson that sometimes it's not our fault, that some just want to keep a dirty street. Kyle's bubble lessons are amazing." Now, I don't know about Kyle's bubble lessons, but all we can do is be responsible for our own side of the street. Because for me, I understand that life lessons are a two-way street. They're never a one-way street. And if you can get to the point of having a conversation where both are expressing and listening, right? That you can actually come to a midway, a compromise. Maybe even strengthen your friendship or your relationship. I think that many times, maybe too often, we choose to walk away and not take the opportunity to do that. And it's a different thing that if you've extended that and the other person rejects it, okay. Then you have to let it go and go do your own thing. But I think that if you don't at least give it a shot, then I think we might have missed the gift in all of it, right? But you also have to there's so many things. We learn about boundaries, to set good boundaries, healthy boundaries. And when I say healthy boundaries, I mean boundaries that are established in love, not fear. The reason why you establish a boundary, to establish it, um, not out of fear, right? Because when you establish a boundary out of fear, it takes a lot of your energy to keep that in place, because people, usually more two-leggeds, that those are the boundaries that people are constantly testing and blowing past and having to deal with it all the time. But when you establish a boundary, in a loving way, um, those are respected. Now, some people might test it a bit, but generally speaking, most people can sense that this is a heartfelt boundary, and they don't test it as much or as hard. There's a lot to this, isn't it? Out of one card, which is this one. So for those who are just joining us, heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Yeah. Don't try to do everything on your own. There was something that I shared with my dad when they were thinking about selling the family home. My parents were in their, I think their 80s at the time, right? Late 70s maybe. They both had pneumonia and they couldn't take care of the house the way they used to. And, we all had our own homes, and getting over there to do stuff was really a challenge. And mom was ready to go. She was ready to sell the house, get a condo, and enjoy life, right? Dad was the one who was dragging his feet. And so my mom asked me if I would come over and have a talk with my dad about it. And so, I did. I was always the one that was sent in to talk with dad, either to break bad news to him or to try to change his mind. Being the only daughter, I think I had a little help in there, right? So I sat with dad at the dining room table. We had a cup of coffee and we were talking. And I said, "So tell me about your thoughts about selling or not selling." And so he was telling me about the reasons why he didn't want to sell, and a lot of it had to do with his personal freedom. Um, and I agreed with him. I said, "I can see that." I said, "But this house, when you built this house, you built it for a family, for children. You built it for us. And now that we're all grown and most of us get back here maybe a few times a year," I said, "you and mom are left with having to deal with, a huge yard to take care of and all that it goes with it." And I said, "And the house really is meant to have children in it. And so you're depriving a family, children, of having an experience here for the childhood memories, all because you want to continue to cut the lawn." It's like, so I just left him with that. I didn't tell him you had to sell or, don't sell, or, I just left it that with him. And mom called me a few days later and said, "Well, your dad decided that we're going to sell because he doesn't want to deprive a child of the kind of memories that they could gain from living out in the country in a safe place," right? So it's those kinds of things that the communication can offer. And yeah. So anyway, here's the second card that came. I'm just checking on the time here. The second card is called Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow. And it says, embrace the energy of peace. Embrace the energy of peace. It's interesting because yesterday we had the card Arrow, and now we get Broken Arrow, embracing the energy of peace. Yeah. This is I'm just looking at the card again. So on the card we have the 4 directions, right? And the broken arrows themselves are at the cross quarters or the crosswinds. And for me, those crosswinds or the cross quarters, those are where the solstices and the equinoxes are found on the wheel. And it's about the change of the seasons. And so you have kind of energy that is rather uncomfortable at the change. Some people experience those changes in their bodies because of the change from warm to cold or from wet to dry, arthritis, But to have the broken arrows depicted at the crosswinds, to me, that means that to embrace the energy of peace, we have to do some healing work to have peace. Because the peace comes from the inside, right? It doesn't come from the outside. It comes from the inside. And so when we have a desire, a wish to have more peace in our life or to have a peaceful life, that starts on the inside. And so you're actually making the request to the universe, to your spiritual team, to help me establish peace within. And when we do that, that means that we have opportunities, we'll call them, that come up that teach us about peace, so that we gain the wisdom of peace. And many times it's those events in our lives that kind of shake things up. So things will come to the surface for us so that we can see it, call it what it is, and heal it. And so that we can anchor in, we can gain the wisdom of peace, right? But I have to say that in order to do that, you actually have to turn your attention to those things that come to the surface to be addressed. And, I've been there. I'd rather not look at it. Why? Because I know how much energy that it could take, right? Or not now. Wait till after the holidays. Not now. I'll wait until spring. Or not now. Let's get through the summer first because the kids are home and, it's just busier. We'll wait until the fall to do it. And so we keep pushing it out. That's called procrastination. You keep pushing it out until, because you've asked for it, you made your desire and your wish known, is that eventually what's going to happen is that events will occur, opportunities will come around that you can't ignore anymore, that you can't push away. It's called the cosmic 2x4. And once you've had it once, you really don't want to have it again. No, because it's just too much drama with it. Holy smokes. This is something I learned, is that to take care of those things when they're little, when they first come up, if they come to your attention, and to take care of it when it's only this big rather than when it's this big, because when they're small like that, they can actually be enjoyable. They can actually be less painful emotionally. Yeah. Lots of memories to that one. Let's see. what am I? I'm missing some things in the chat. Let's go back here. Roberta is saying, put on your shield for no negativity in my space. I will listen, but I don't need to carry it. Exactly. It's when we were doing the cards, I think it was the Sacred Path cards. There was a card in there that talked about that everyone's voice is sacred. Everybody's perspective is sacred. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to agree with them, okay? But they could be able to as they're sharing, as they're communicating, that we can actually see the situation from a different point of view that we weren't aware of, right? So we can take in that information, and does that change how we feel or what we think? Maybe not. But we don't know if we don't sit and listen. Yeah. And there's nothing written anywhere that says you have to agree. No, you don't. But to have enough respect for them or for their perspective is to listen, and vice versa. that they have the respect for you to listen to you, right? But no, you don't have to. And yeah, I agree. Shields up. Yeah. All right. And thank you, Stephanie, for putting all that in there. I appreciate that for the show tonight. Oh, okay. So let's talk a little bit about this broken arrow, the embracing the energy of peace and how it supports the first card. So the first card is about love and let yourself be loved, right? And this is about peace, embracing the energy of peace. When we appreciate and grateful for those people in our lives that love us, we have a certain amount of joy with that, right? And I think that joy and peace, I mean, here we are heading into the holy season, right? We think and talk a lot about joy and peace this time of year, and here's the hard one. When we love ourselves, when we acknowledge and accept that we are a divine child of the Creator, we are setting ourselves up for peace. Yeah. That we have that peace within. I think that's how these two cards go together. The message that's being given to us anyway. Let's find out what Kyle has to say about Broken Arrow. He says, let go of the need to defend yourself and prepare to offer peace. You are safe. Just as the arrow card symbolizes defense and protection, the broken arrow card symbolizes peace. In Native American traditions, a broken arrow would mean that tribes were no longer fighting one another, but making an alliance. When you see a broken arrow in a meditation, vision, dream, or a reading, it is a message that you no longer need to fight because peace has arrived. This is a powerful symbol of harmony, serenity, and community. I like that. And it takes a heck of a lot less energy to be peaceful than it does to fight. To always have to be vigilant about what's going on around you, Hey, Celine. Selena just joined. Good to have you here. it takes so much energy when you're walking on eggshells around people, right? And that you're hyper vigilant about stuff. You're watching what they say, how they act, where they place the comma in the text, that kind of stuff. And you're on the pounce. You're ready to pounce. There's a lot of energy that goes into that. There's a lot of energy that goes into needing to prove yourself right. And usually that's what the fight is about, right? To prove that you're right. It takes a lot less energy to be peaceful. It frees up your energy to place it somewhere else. That's for sure. Hey, Celine said, thank you. First time. Good to have you here. Welcome to Star Nation's community, to the live stream. I do this every day at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we have a whole slew of shows, live stream shows here at Star Nation's radio network. It's a part of Star Nation's organization. So welcome, Celine. Okay, so Kyle also says that if you've been exposed to a situation in which you have felt the need to protect yourself or defend what you feel is right, know that this is now coming to an end. With the arrival of the broken arrow card, you're being guided to know that the energies of light are entering to wash away all of the darkness. You can drop your shields and protection. You are now in a situation that will honor you and honor your needs. Arguments are ending. Disagreements are being resolved. Prepare to talk things through and offer the peace that you would like to enjoy. In order to move forward in a more fearless way, and for me, fearless means an abundance of love, it's important for you to let go of the idea that you can be hurt by the situation or the people involved, because this will only work against you. Know that your angelic guides and ancestors are standing around you, protecting you, and taking you lovingly forward. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to be able to be relaxed and calm, right? Not to be on the defense. And to know that, whatever situation or event that has that the argument or the prickly feelings attached to it, that even if you have the opportunity to sit down and talk about it, to have communications about it, that there's the opportunity that a miracle could happen and it gets resolved, right? Because you're only taking care of your own side of the street. That's all you can do. You can't force the other person or the other people to think or do or change, but you can offer your perspective. And whether they take it and do something with that is up to them. But at least you had your say, right? And to clean up your side of the street, which means sometimes that you're the one that has to offer the apology, heartfelt apology. But even then, you can't force the other person to take it either. Yeah. What's that old saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. It's something like that. But all you can do is your own side of the street and do the very best that you can. And then you can let it go. Then you can let it go. Knowing that you did the very best that you could do with the situation. And now it's up to spirit. It's up to the creator to make that miracle or weave that magic, right? Yeah. And you got to learn something. As you're working on your soul contract, in my imagination, right? There's is my soul contract. She's going to learn about asking for help. And I did it, right? And so I accomplished that. And there's this check. All right, we did that one. Good. She's got that nugget of wisdom that's in. We got it. Now let's move on to the next one. And that's what we're here to do, right? Soul growth. All right. So this is what I believe these two cards are bringing to us today is that love and let yourself be loved. And it's about peace. That it takes so much. It takes less energy to love and be loved and to have peace. And to be fully in that loving feeling is to have peace in your heart as well. Which means that we have some healing to do. We have some healing to do. It's all good. It's all good. What do you guys think about that? About that. I think that this card draw, there's a lot of balance to this too. Because you have the female heart guardian, right? That's got a lot of red, which is a very masculine, high energy color, feng shui wise. But it also represents love. And then you have the circle, which is also a feminine, but it has the masculine, which is the arrows. So I think that there's some balance going on with these cards too, between the male and female energies. Interesting stuff. So Connie says, I love that. Me too. So, every day I say basically the same thing, is that whatever you heard or felt through the conversation, if it resonated with you, yay. I say pick it up and embrace it and see, sense, feel, see how the energy is flowing to you and around you, through you today, and how this information can be used, right? Whether you're using it directly or if you're a witness to someone or something that is occurring with the energy. Either way, it's good because we're learning from it. And if it didn't resonate with you, no worries. It's okay. You can just let it lie. You don't have to do anything with it. If you know someone who enjoys this kind of information, this kind of conversation, you can always share the recorded video link with them, and maybe you're the messenger, right? Yeah. All right. Celine's saying, so true. I just got out of a really bad relationship. I'm working on healing. Well, good for you. Good for you. That the healing part. The healing part is probably the most important, and a lot of it has to do with being really honest with yourself and reaching out to healers that can help you through it, right? And healers, what they do is they help us to establish an energy field that is supportive in your healing. They don't heal you, they help you to heal yourself. And that's so empowering. It really is. And so, using your discernment on which healers to go to and do what you need to do to heal, right? It's good. Well, we're here to cheer you on, Celine, right? To support you in that. Terrific Tuesdays here at Star Nations. We have one more show yet for you guys today, and that's this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's my weekly show, Communications from Home, and we're talking about something I really enjoy and love. It's near and dear to my heart, and it's all about drums. My guest is Julie Hedges. She's one of our live stream show hosts here at Star Nations. We're going to be talking about drum circles and drumming prayers, and especially for Grandmother Earth. And we invite you to join us tonight. Bring whatever you want to bring to the chat room. If you want, you can bring your own drum. You can bring a rattle. You can bring a flute. You can, if you don't have any of those things, we're going to even talk about what you can do when you don't have one. So join us, and we'll do some drumming and praying together. Okay. All right. And tomorrow, Wednesday, the 5th, yeah, Wednesday the 5th, at 7 p.m. Eastern is Soul Connections with Polly Jo LeBay. And if you are an energy worker, a light worker, and you've been providing service to others, and you're one of those people who puts your name down at the bottom of the list for healings, Wednesday nights is really for us, so that we have the opportunity to do our own self-healing, our own self-care. Okay. And that is at 7 p.m. There's, goes from about 7 to 8:30, because when the healing meditation is finished, then Polly Jo, what she does is she does a card draw for anybody who wants a card that's in the live chat. Just say, yes, please. We'll get your name put on the list, and she does a card draw for everybody who wants one. So sometimes it takes half an hour, sometimes it takes 45 minutes to get through everybody, but she does. So if you enjoy that, you can join us at 7 p.m. Eastern for Soul Connections. And with that, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and hopefully we'll see you back here tonight, okay? All right. Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. See you later, guys. Love you.